Okay, I just want to start this recording. It's not easy to do these kind of recordings, especially anything long term, but I will do my best. Because I do believe, ultimately I do believe in truth. Even though there is a lot of inversions, I do believe in peace, and I constantly been manifesting peaceful positions, peaceful environments, and also people in my circle to be in peace. It's not just about myself, but it's about people that I know, people that I'm connected soulfully. I want them to be in peace. Let me start from the very beginning, just kind of backtrack things. How do I even backtrack it? First of all, my camera is right here and my face is right here, so that's why I keep looking side to side. I have to get a better tablet, but it doesn't matter. As long as you can hear it, as long as my message can get delivered, that's all we care. And I also have this wonderful microphone right here, so it will do its job. First of all, I want to make this disclaimer, is that the place I grew up in, the way I grew up where we're all one people. Ukrainians, Russians, Belarusians, we all were treated as one. It's like in the United States, you treat Native American, Black American, I don't know, any kind of American, you treat American because he's a US citizen. They have differences, but they're all one. That's why it's called United States. I grew up in very similar environments where we were all one. So the disclaimer is, if you believe that Russians and Ukrainians are different, there is no point of you even looking further, you know. If you see separation between the two, as I said earlier in one of the posts, if you are so Ukrainian, I welcome you to speak only Ukrainian with me. And believe me, I can speak Ukrainian very well. Pretty much fluent. I grew up there, I was born there. So, if you feel that we're all one, let's continue. So I grew up in the environment where I do see, I was the one that was actually different in that environment, because there were not many African mixed kids at the time. There were some, but it's not like the way you see it in the United States. And so I did feel like an outcast, and I was chased by certain people. I had traumas and stabs on my body and all sorts of injuries. But again, today is not about me. So my relation with Ukraine is its own relation. My relation to the country and how they have their own nationalists, neo-nationalists there, and it is within the politics. It was like that. It was like that. And I witnessed it myself. I will not really dive into politics in the first part of this video, because again, all what I'm talking about here is my personal experience. It may not really relate to you, really. You're just watching this because you want to know what's going on in my head, my heart, and everything that concerns me, and you're listening it just because of my personal opinion, really. It's personal life experience and what I went through and so on. Okay. I currently have relatives in Ukraine. We'll start with the one that is running in my blood, which is my sister. So my sister is there. She has a son. Son is 18 years old. And they're trapped in the town of Dnipro. Given Dnipro is a very, very heavy armored city, and they will fight against Russian military, at least from my understanding, because they're heavily militarized. They're not really letting anyone out or in. They have barricades. This is from what I know. Also, my sister's son is pretty much called to serve in the army because he's 18. So anyone in Ukraine age 18 to 60 has to serve. Thankfully, they made a wise decision. When there was opening, there was ceasefire. They used one of the corridors and had my sister's daughter escape. So my sister's daughter is now, as we speak, she is now in Czech Republic. She's on her way further west, as we have relatives in Germany. So I'm grateful that this happened. I'm grateful for that happening. As to what's going on with my sister, she is in shelter. They have a shelter in the building, it's like 9-story building. They have like garage where they can hide. So at the time being, there is sirens pretty much every day. Every other day there are sirens, and things are just intense. It's war. Even though I will talk more about the war itself, I call it a handbrake war. I mean, I don't call it, it's a term that is used for these types of wars, and I'll get to it later. So, Dnipro will be there. I have no idea as to the timeline of that town, when there'll be heavy military activity there. I know right now most of the focus is on East Ukraine and Kiev. I was born in Kiev. I've seen footage of Kiev right now. I grew up pretty much across the Air Force. I think it's Air Force storage facility and some airport. It's intense. It's intense to see what's going on there, to feel it. It makes you lose hair, so that I've been losing hair. Like this here hasn't happened before. Mentally, I am doing my best to stay mentally sane. Physically, body does give up. I have no words to explain, but the body takes toll. Why? Because we're all invested into it. And I will go further explaining how to heal the body, but I know that for the time being, this is it. The body takes toll, and I'm just here. There are people there who just have one suitcase and they're running for their lives. I'm just here being an empath. Imagine being an empath in that environment there. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. So the latest update is that they are there. Thankfully, her, thankfully they're safe. Then I have a cousin. She's Ukrainian. Obviously, she was studying in, I think it's called Chubash. It's a military university, Air Force University in Kharkiv. That place doesn't exist anymore. If you've seen the footage of Kharkiv, you know what's going on there. Kharkiv is just demolished. She was able to escape. It took her 4 days to cross the border. Difficult, just extremely tolling on your body and your mental state. She made it to Poland in a safe place. I did start a little fundraiser. I could not do it through Facebook. Facebook is probably overloaded with these personal causes. So I did my own on a page, and I'm very grateful for people that responded. And she just basically high school graduate, and she just got into that college, and she was already holding a weapon, and it's really even hard to talk about it. What I did find out from her when I spoke with her yesterday is that she tried contacting the university. She did get in touch with someone that works there, and they were asking her to come back and help. They need people. Quickly, I try not to get political here, but I don't see a point of coming back there if you took so much effort to escape, and when your government officials are calling you to come back to fight the war, and you are not even adult yet. It just hurts me. It hurts me what this martial law government decision just hurts me. It does hurt me as well that they are not letting people practice the freedom of will, which means the men who are between 18 and 60 have to go to war, have to be, the executive order has been signed that all men between 18 and 60 have to bear arms. In the United States, we talk about martial law so much. Well, I experience this now indirectly in my homeland. I do believe in freedom of will. And when freedom of will is violated, I think it's violation of humanity. But again, this is just my opinion. And I believe everyone, if they want to escape, they need to escape. And this is what we're running into. There is footages that I've seen where women are transporting their men through the border, and they're being caught. They're being caught. I don't know what's the punishment. I hear different versions from... I don't know. I don't even want to get to it because it's all information. There's just too much. So there's some form of punishment. Let's put it this way. And so now my nephew has to get out, and we're looking for safe channels where he can get out. I'm looking for a safe channels where they can escape. It's very important now. I know there is a big belief in many Ukrainian cities that they can withstand this. that they can stay strong. But I believe that this is the time to escape, and if anyone wants to escape, they should. And I should not be asking people for organizations that will help this young 18-year-old sneak out of his own country because the laws has changed. Why are we even in this position? So, and then there is other friend we have who, his son is the same skin color as me. He's half African, and he's been separated with his mom. He's like someplace in Ukraine right now, and she was able to break free and escape, and now she's on her way. Basically, what I'm trying to do is trying to get her all the way to the States. Because she still has the tourist visa, which is wonderful. The tourist visa was acquired before the war because now United States is not issuing these visas. Right now, United States, as I speak today, which is March 10th, the temporary protection status that was announced already almost a week ago has not yet been opened for Ukrainian citizens. The temporary protection status is only issued to Ukrainians who were in the United States before March 1st. So if you came here after March 1st, according to this law, and it's on DHS website, you cannot qualify. Why the law is like this? You can question the government. Does government really care about refugees? No, they don't care. Because if they did, the TPS program would already be available. Believe me, I check every day. I was at the immigration office. I do my work. I'm actually doing my work, and I'm very thankful for people who are sending me energy that allows me to do this work much better. I'm just letting you know exactly my perception about this. So there are three main timelines, and at this point, I'm really feeling that eventually we will get where we need to get. We just have to maintain this positivity no matter what happens in our reality. I believe, I heard people say Ukraine is going through a collective karma. It is harsh, it is intense. I'm not here to judge, but it's really hard even to talk about it. Because nobody, can you imagine the karma of many other countries, especially United States, especially the deep state here. And now I will slowly be going into the political side of it. And again, this is just my perception from my own perspective. And first of all, I want to say I do care for people. People are number one. People here are just on the way of this political fight. It's a big political fight that is going on, and they're trying to separate Ukrainians from Russians. It is creating one of the longest genetical trauma. It's generational trauma that will separate the two nations. For this lifetime. I'm being as optimistic as possible, but also realist. I do see this lasting a whole lifetime, my lifetime at least. I know when I'm in Russian circle, they will know that I'm Ukrainian. when someone is in Ukrainian circle, there will be this division. But there are people that look beyond this. There are people, and I really want to send energy of love to the people that don't see division, that still understand the unity and understand there are higher forces that are dividing all of us. I want you to acknowledge this is not between Ukraine, Russia. This is much bigger than that. This is much, much bigger. It's really hard to approach this topic from the political standpoint, because what I do know and I do understand is that we're going into the global reset. COVID was part of the global reset. It's just stage 1. And then we'll have stage 2. And then we'll have stage 3. From my understanding, there will be lots of truth that is going to be coming out. I thought that I was recording. I'm happy I was trying to record it on the others. Okay, I'm happy at least this recording here. There's always a backup. Anyways. First of all, I just want to send you love. If you got this far into this message, I'm sending you so much love, because it's not easy to record this, because you speak out of pain, but you try to rationalize it. That's the thing. You're rationalizing the pain that is internal, and that goes beyond just yourself. It goes to the people, because we talk to these people daily. I want you to understand. I'll start before. I'll go backtrack. I'll just go way back, because that's how I always was. Is I look at everything from the vibrational standpoint. I do know people that were friends of mine for a simple reason. They get positive vibes. They get positive vibes. They, maybe take my gifts that I send, all these precious metals that I accumulate, and I'm giving everything away. My goal was to actually go to Africa, and I was giving things away. And then this happened, and now I'm needed here, I do see negative forces creating negative vibrations on this planet on purpose. The purpose is always there. The purpose is to create negative polarity and suck as many people into that negative polarity. For example, something like COVID or protests. COVID has been very global event that affected many people. Just many people were affected by it. And now it has gone down, and now the attention shifted to the war. It's like we're going with the script of globalists. And I myself, I see the picture, and I see how it traps everyone into this negative vibe. And people that were following me, my messages, they don't follow now anymore, because I talk about something that affects me directly. It affects me directly. So now I'm being affected directly. I'm also sharing that information, and not everyone is ready uh, to see this version of me. You know, people just want to have good time. People just want to have, okay, share some light work energy, this and that, and I'm being tested myself. You know, I'm being tested. But imagine someone who is in this position and they're completely unaffected. They behaving like nothing is happening. Everything is great in their world, even though their family may be on the verge of death or things may be annihilated. And you're just like spreading love and positivity without acknowledging what's happening. That's called ignorance. And I know people like that. And in a way, this whole situation, what happens with me, actually shows me who is real in the circle, who is there to be friends. You know, first of all, COVID agenda, other agendas, you know, I remember I even was at the Burning Man. I was connected to Black Lives Matter movement. I filmed their whole protest there, and then I separated. I was part of different things because of also my own illusion, you know. I had to experience something and break through and learn. This is one of the reasons you don't really see me standing with the Ukrainian flag. I was born there. I am a citizen of the country. I just know that this also causes division. You know, and the masters of this reality, they know how to manipulate it so well. I'm so genuine, you know. I feel I'm going through this test myself as well, and you are riding it with me. You know, it's like you see this journey of me, and you know, who cares, who doesn't. You know, most people don't care, and that's fine. Most people don't care about anything anyways. But there are a select few, and I love and respect, and I respect and love everyone, those who even don't care. There are some people that just vanished from my life because they are not ready for tough times. And I tell you, most people are not ready for tough times that is about to come. What's about to come? And let's go there. What's about to come? So, United States is not buying Russian oil anymore. Let's look at economics immediately. Russian oil not going to the United States. We in the United States, we the people, we do have reserves in Alaska. We do have those reserves, but they're not being invoked. Our government will play a victim card and will blame things on Russia. Russia is guilty, but we're not gonna do anything with our oil refineries. We're not going to reactivate Alaska. We will force people to use electric cars. By the way, if you want to be ahead of the game, go get an electric car. I tell you now, because by the end of this year, I predict gas going towards $8, $9, maybe 10. I see it this way. I don't see double digit in my visions, but I see a high number of single digit. So this is gonna trickle down the economy. We will slowly go into recession. Now, crypto. The feds will be working towards creating a digital currency. the digital currency that will somehow replace dollar. Now they're trying to regulate the cryptocurrency, and I see potentially seizing, like they did in Canada. They were trying to affect the exchanges, where and banks connected to exchanges. But I still believe people who have hard wallets, cold wallets, should be fine. I don't know how all crypto can be seized. I have no idea, but I can see it could be one of the pathways. So smart people get gold, get silver. I don't know what you can do with it though. It's just a store of value. But with the evaluation of a currency, which it doesn't happen tomorrow, it happens in the long run. I'm just giving you a long run vision. It's like that we have to go, we as the financial folks have to push the default on us, and they're doing it at the expense of Ukraine and other agendas. It's all about destabilizing the economy. Don't you see it? It's all about destabilization of economy and blaming and finding scapegoats to blame it on. Now, from here we move to these biolabs people talk about. Okay, United States, and let me tell you, United States is a corporation. United States, and it's not necessarily the government. It's the Department of State, this and that. They have these labs all over the world. Not all over, but there are certain countries where they have labs. Why United States corporation, country, and people within it have labs in the other countries, I have no idea. But I know these labs are dangerous. I've talked about it before. Finally, it's coming to the surface. Do they exist in Ukraine? Well, first of all, the government declined the existence of such labs in Ukraine. And then, a few days ago, Victoria Nuland, who is the press secretary, she said, yeah, we have them, and we have to protect them from the Russians. So, something is in those labs. I'm not going to speculate what is in there, but it's no good. It's no good. It's so no good that even it concerns China, because China also had these labs in there. It's similar type of labs, I tell you that. It's the similar type of labs that are in Wuhan, that they're in many places. They're also in Georgia. But all that information is suppressed, and people are deemed as conspiracy theorists and all of that. Soon everything will come to the surface. You'll see it. Soon, I do believe that there are forces fighting. I do believe that humanity will not die because of the red button, because there's light forces that don't allow. We have to complete karma cycle. So there will be no nuclear war. Nothing like that will happen. People will be scared about it day and night, that someone's gonna press a red button, chemicals will be released, whatnot. Humanity will survive. Humanity will survive. I tell you, I'll slowly go into the subject of handbrake war. Handbrake war is a targeted type of war. Let me share something with you. If Russia wanted to destroy Ukraine, they could have done it within 1 or 2 days. It's very easy. They have firepower that can be unleashed from the air, and they could have destroyed everything. They didn't do that. In fact, I predict 90% of Ukrainian population will survive in this war. On the information about handbrake war, I can provide that information. The war is more tactical. It's not about, we can say the Russian tanks have been stalled, they don't have fuel. This is just a way for globalists to prolong this war. The more war is happening, the more money they make. Everybody makes money. Remember, the war is about money. The war is about, Ukrainian government is collecting donations. Do people get a portion of these donations? Ask yourself. Not really. Uh, these promised NATO fire jets, where are they? They're being sold, resold, but they just split the money somewhere in between. They split the money somewhere in between. So in that whole picture, Ukraine is just a scapegoat sacrifice. They're sacrificing people. It's an old ritual to sacrifice people. I don't want to go deep into it, but it creates negative polarity, and the people who benefit from this, they feed off negative energy, and even by me talking about it, I'm actually feeding the beast in a way. I'm feeding them because I'm sharing this with you, because it's affecting me. On a regular day, I will have sent you some bunch of photos of nature, or me playing tennis, riding bicycles, and stuff like that. But when the reality hits you hard, it does hit you hard, And some folks say, "Hey, Ali, you should have been in Africa. You should go be there, do your own thing." I am doing my own thing. That's the thing. I'm preaching. It's a long video, and I'm very grateful for those who stay with me. It's draining. Even to record this, it's draining. So, Biolabs are there. They need to be resolved. They need to be resolved. Ukraine's not gonna resolve these. No. They need those forces that come from Russia to resolve these biolabs. I just know it. That's how I feel. You may disagree with me. I know the crime against humanity has been done within the country itself. Within the country. It's really difficult to be in position of where your streets, where I grew up in, don't look the same anymore. Being attacked. It's attacked by the Russian military on the city where I existed. But I do know it's political game. I do know it has nothing to do on the grand scheme of things to eliminate nation. Someone is afraid of Ukrainian as Ukrainian people being killed and slaughtered. No, it could have happened a long time ago if they wanted to do it. It's not the plan. They have their plan. Globalists have their plan. Everyone has their plan. Who doesn't have their plan is the Ukrainian politicians. They say there is a plan, but when I see them sacrificing people and not giving people freedom of will, I have big doubts about that type of government. I don't want nothing to do with that government. And it's my personal relations with that government, because I did suffer from that government personally. I did suffer. Maybe it's my own resentment. I could be blinded by that. But you see your own truth in my message. You may resonate, you may not resonate. This message may not even be uploaded. May not even get there. It may be censored halfway through, or whatever, I do see a global reset. I do see it, because people don't know how to unite properly. COVID showed that it can separate people into categories divided by 10. There are people that are still double masked. I go to the grocery store, everyone is still masked, we don't have a mask mandate, and they're wearing masks. Someone is double masked. You have to go to Symphony, they already ask for boosters if you want to go to Symphony, and so we the government has created environment where people are divided and people comply with it. That's the thing. People comply with it. As long as you comply with governments, that's what we have. We have people fighting, we have people separating. That's what it is. You may think that I'm blaming everything on government. Yes, I do. I do. It's painful. I mean, I do love United States as the idea of the country. Read the Constitution is amazing. Read the freaking Constitution. Brilliantly written. Brilliant. It's probably the best constitution in the entire planet. Like this timeline, there is no better constitution than the American Constitution. Free, First Amendment, second, freedom of, like really, it's like a Bible. I tell you, no government has established this type of constitution. I read different constitutions. I know Queen England Constitution. Across the board, I'm not subscribing to that. I'm not subscribing to any of that. And I do believe in the good of people behind this country. I really love what J.F. Kennedy was going after. And there are a few other people in politics that I respect. So I just want to send so much love to everyone, and I do appreciate your support. I do believe the picture is much bigger here. The picture is much, much bigger. There is a reason why we have what we have. There is a reason why I am going through this test as well. There is a reason why you watch this, why you are involved in this one way or another. I'm here about unity. I don't separate, if someone is pro-left or pro-right, or if someone did get the job or did not get the job. I really want to bring everyone together. I believe all people are living in their own illusions, and especially and then there is external illusion. So we have to watch what external illusion being fed to us and be careful about it, really. I think something amazing just flew by. External illusion. Pay attention. Pay attention. We're here to eventually ascend. We're here to eventually do so much good for humanity. It's difficult to do good when we are dealing with so much trauma that's being caused to us. Let me actually show you. I'm sitting like this. I couldn't find any cushion. But I'm, it's good to practice discomfort as well, because life will not be comfortable. I tell you, it's good to be, like I start practicing standing on nails, or I do handstands in the shower. Try that. Cold shower and handstands. Try it. The ultimate discomfort. We have to raise our vibration on so many levels. And that's the bottom line. I will still deal with what I have to deal with. And you do too. But as long as our vibration is elevated and we focus on that elevation, we can get so high. I mean, we can go telekinesis, can do telepathy, and so on and so forth. But on the other side of it, we have digitization of an environment. We have the 5G. We have the COVID that is now built into our phones as an exposure, and it tracks you. We have predictable keyboards that send our messages to the servers, and they track us. We have so much. Corporations have so much control, so they know they have the control of our bodies and our even predictive thinking and stuff. But one thing they want is our soul. One thing they want, and they want to feed off the soul. The soul is like the biggest thing that we have in this incarnation, and it's important to really cherish that. To cherish your soul, to allow it to just blossom. Allow it to blossom. And as I say this, I feel this blossoming energy. Today, when I was playing, I was outside, I decided to go and really try to separate myself from the reality and play tennis. And I was listening to some podcast about the situation in Ukraine, and every time they said destroyed or killed, I would miss the ball. Like, it will vibrationally hit me and I will miss the ball. And every time he said anything about positive, about being rescued or vibrations, I did not miss the ball. Bottom line, everything is energy, everything is vibration. So let's just keep it up. Despite this, we're gonna get through this. I know we're being separated. I do know. I know. I mean, it's their plan. It's the plan of the people that are scribing the history. They create a global history. So they create their own global history, and we will create our own history. Boom! Let's create our own history. I'm sending you lots of love. The energy is good. The energy is so good. We will break through this. We will, because we're supreme humans. Let's practice being supreme.